Hi, welcome back to Layers of Cakes. I'm Cakes, and today I'm going to show you how I'm going to make a pear butter. I'm really excited for this recipe, although I don't have one very important tool. I don't have a food processor or a blender of any sort, so I am going to have to use my muscles and mash everything by hand. So I know it's going to take me longer, but I'm still hoping I can make a butter. So let's see if I can make a butter without a food processor. I'm excited. It sounds like an easy and good recipe. Let's go ahead and get started. Another recipe from Ball Blue Book Guide to Preserving. I've set aside 7 pounds of pears, 1 orange, a bowl of water with fresh fruit in it, and all the tools I'm going to need. A pot for cooking in, another bowl just in case, utensils that I think I'm going to need, nutmeg and sugar, both organic, an orange. I finally chopped the skin and got a 1/3 cup of orange juice. I ended up doing a hard boil on the pears for quite a long time before they were tender enough to mash, and now I am mashing them. Once they were tender enough, I added 4 cups of sugar and cooked them until the sugar completely dissolves. At this point, I also mashed them again, and mashed them again, and mashed them again. Make sure that you're stirring your pears frequently so that they don't burn or get scalded on the bottom of the pan. Now that the sugar is dissolved completely, add a 1/3 cup of the orange juice, then 1 teaspoon of orange zest, and then 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. And now you're going to stir it constantly, cooking it down until it's thick. Make sure to prepare your jars. I sanitized my jars while my butter was thickening. The butter is getting really thick now, and a lot of the juices have evaporated or thickened up. And there I am mashing it again. Fancy that. A food processor really would help. But alas, we finally got there. It is thick and smells wonderful. And make sure to get all of your air bubbles out of the jars. Then I cleaned off the top and put the lid on, and I tighten the jar. But when you tighten your jars, make sure you don't tighten it too tight. These processed for 10 minutes. Seven pounds of pears turned into 3 3/4 pints of pear butter. Oh, it smells so good in here. Look how pretty that turned out. Okay, that was it. That took forever. A food processor would have been beneficial. My next butter, hopefully I will be able to have one by then. It would definitely make a world of a difference and save me probably 2 hours. I did end up smashing it all by hand, but because they're Asian pears, it took so long for them to get soft enough to even start to process. I think they would have had a hard time in the process had I followed the recipe and only simmered them for about 10 minutes, because I ended up having to do almost a hard boil for 30 minutes. They definitely took a lot longer. And of course, this recipe book does not account for Asian pears. There's so much little information on Asian pears, but the butter turned out really good. It's very flavorful. It looks really pretty. Let me go ahead and let me go ahead and show you. I'm talking about it and I didn't even show you. Let me show you. It's so good. I really like nutmeg though. So look how thick that is. That's how you want it. It doesn't come off the spoon. It is probably still a little too crunchy, but the pieces are still a little kind of big, but they're not nearly as big as I thought they were going to be. I actually really worked it. So this is what the butter looks like. And there's a little bit of motion, but not a lot. This was also the very bottom last portion, so there's a little bit more liquid in it. The other jars, when I move them, nothing happens. So that's pretty cool. This tastes phenomenal. This is going to go in oatmeal. It's going to go on bread. I'm going to find new and inventive ways to use this. It is amazing. But again, I really like nutmeg. So it was fun to find a recipe using Asian pears, nutmeg, oranges. It's such a vibrant combination on the palate. It tastes really good. I can't even express to you how good it smelled in here and how good it tastes. Thanks for joining me. If you have Asian pears, you can do this recipe. You're just going to have to cook your pears like 3 times as long as any recipe tells you that you're gonna need to cook it, because the pears are so thick and hearty. They're really, really a dense pear. I'm going to be doing at least one more episode on the Asian pears. I want to try pickling them, and I am going to be doing my own homemade spices for it. Other than that, I will see you next time. Bye!